I got a new camera today. That's a damn fine looking camera. Damn fine. Oh man, we're gonna have so much fun together. The things we'll see, the places we'll go, it's gonna be special. All right, let's get you on your tripod. Get you looking good. That feel all right? All right, now let's get you sounding good, okay? So we'll put this up there. Don't worry, I am a professional. Let's get this plugged in. How's that? Is that all right? Because you look great. Ooh, no. Ooh. Not bad. So this has been my main camera since I've started doing YouTube videos. This is the Canon. There's a damn shadow on my face. There. So this is my main camera that I've been using since I started doing these types of videos. It is the Canon 80D. It's my main squeeze. It's such a good camera. It's got the flip out screen. It does like full high definition at 60 frames per second. It has a lot of really good lenses. It's just such a great, well-rounded camera and for a really good price. So if you're starting out on YouTube and you want like a good lasting camera, Canon 80D is where it's at. The only like slight problem I have with this camera is that it's pretty big. Hefty. Now the size doesn't really bother me when I'm filming inside my studio, but I'm still getting comfortable with the idea of just filming myself in general, especially out in public. Like, I don't know, I just feel weird like filming myself and talking to the camera with people around and like drawing attention to myself. I don't know, I just don't have that like vlogger confidence yet to like walk into a hotel room like, "Hello, I would like to check in, please." Which I know that is a me problem and not a camera problem, but there are other benefits of having a smaller setup. Which leads me to my new main squeeze. My new main squeeze. It's the Sony A7C, which is a lot smaller, but don't take my word for it. Here, see for yourself. See? So much smaller. I made it even more compact by getting the smaller microphone, which sounds not as good as this one, but still pretty damn close. Hey guys, Cordless 7 here, famous YouTuber, you know. So while editing this part, I realized that the battery for this microphone had died and we're actually using the audio from the camera. So that's why it sounds the way that it does. Sorry for the next 20 seconds. Now pretty much everyone I know in person don't really care about like the techie specs of everything. They're more like, does it look cool? Does it play my music? Awesome. So my gut reaction is to say that I'm not gonna bore you with all the techie, nerdy stuff, but this is my channel, damn it. If I can't talk about nerdy stuff here, where can I? So, we're about to nerd the hell out. Wait. Amazon just delivered this like foam cover for the microphone. How adorable is that? You're just a little baby microphone. You're just a little baby microphone. Alright, so we have the Sony A7C, the Canon 80D, and I do have the Canon G7X, which is more of like a point and shoot camera, so it's not really in the same ballpark as these, but I have it. I have it. And my very first camera, which is the Sony CyberShot W150 that is like over 10 years old, but I just want to acknowledge it, so hi, love you, miss you. Now we can't really compare these cameras as far as which one's better because they all came out at different times, they're different types of cameras, and they're all at different price points. But if we were to compare, we know who would win, right guys? Right, it's that guy, that one. So the Sony is a mirrorless camera with a full frame sensor. The Canon 80D is a DSLR with a APS-C crop sensor camera, and the Canon G7X is a mirrorless point and shoot camera. Again, not in the same ballpark. So the Sony can shoot up to 4K at 24 frames per second, the Canon 80D can shoot at full high definition 1080p at 60 frames per second, and the G7X I believe can do the same thing, but it doesn't apply. I'm sorry, it doesn't apply. Now the full frame sensor on the Sony is super nice because you get more in the frame with each lens. So for example, I'm using a 28mm lens on a full frame camera, and this is what you see. This is what you get out of the frame. If I were to put that same lens on a crop sensor camera, it will look something like this even though the camera is the same distance away because it's cropping into the frame. And the other thing that I love about the Sony is that it can shoot in full high definition 1080p at 120 frames per second. And if you don't know what frames per second means, basically it's just how many frames your camera can record per second. So this video was shot in 24 frames per second, which is like the industry standard, anywhere between 24 and 30. That's what most TV shows and movies are shot in. And that's why my movement seems natural. You got the motion blur, everything just seems kind of normal. Now the main reason for me to have these higher frame rates is for slow motion. You can get that buttery, smooth, sweet B-roll. Basically, when you drop a clip into editing software and you want to slow it down to get that nice, smooth, slow motion, you're literally stretching out that clip on the timeline. And the more frames you have within that clip, the smoother that B-roll is. So here's slow motion with 24 frames per second. You can kind of see it skips a little bit more. It's kind of jagged like this. Here's a slow motion clip with 60 frames per second, and you see it's a little bit smoother. It's not too bad. And here's 120 frames per second. You see, look at that buttery, smooth B-roll. Now the only thing that's making me question keeping this camera is that it's a Sony. Now, in no way am I against Sony. I mean, my very first camera was a Sony camera, but this is a very expensive hobby. It's super easy to spend thousands of dollars on a camera and thousands of dollars on just one single lens. And unless you're just loaded, when you start investing in one brand, you kind of want to stick with that brand because all your lenses can work with your new cameras. And now obviously with this being a Sony camera, most of my Canon lenses are not going to work on it. And that's the only thing that's causing me to question it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Cord, why don't you just get a Canon camera? Why did you get a Sony? But I've done a lot of research, and there isn't really a Canon camera on the market right now that can do what this can do in such a small body. And the other Canon cameras that I've seen in this price range do 4K, but it's at a crop, it can overheat, and it can only record 30 minutes. And like one of them does 120 frames per second, but it's at 720p, like what is it, 2009? And most important to me is that they're all larger than this camera, so it's a very tough sell. I think there's a good girl in here. I think there's a good girl. Did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap, sugar? Now you can get Google to tell you anything. You want to tell you that Canon is better than Sony or Sony is better than Canon? There's plenty of Reddit posts and YouTube videos for both arguments. The only real way to know if a camera is right for you is by getting your hands on one and playing with it. And so far, hey Rihanna, did you lose the ball? She lost the ball, 1 second. And so far, this camera is really nice. I'm really liking it. All right, now I get to go test out how convenient it is to have a small camera because I gotta go to my buddy Chad's house to help him fix his computer before he loses his mind. This one. One thing that's like really starting to drive me nuts is that I can't see the screen with my polarized sunglasses. It like blacks out the entire thing. That was the most like first world problem things I have ever said. Oh, I can't see my camera screen because of my polarized sunglasses. Oh no. All right, he just moved and I've never been over here in the daytime. So I hope this is his house. Hello? Hello? Oh, it's the right house. Oh, no, no. Hello. See, it's not too bad.
It's not like you're illuminated too much.
Yeah.
Because when I look at me sometimes, it's like, you're pale.
Oh, yeah.
Like the size is totally like,
is it enough?
You see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this.
That's the whole point.
This mamma jamma. All right, guys, we're here today.
I don't know. I like it, man. It's nice and.
I definitely like it.
Fancy meeting you here.
Wanna help bring in some groceries?
I do. How was your day? So, what do you think of this camera?
It's pretty.
Should I keep it?
If you want to.
You think it's a good small travel size camera?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Is it because of the microphone?
No. I don't feel like they're different. Carrying a camera around on a tripod pointed at yourself, it doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter.
How
Okay.
big the camera is. But actually, I think the quality is amazing of the photos. Like, the quality of the pictures is crazy.
I was about to sarcastically say, well, that was helpful, but that was helpful, so thank you. All right, let's get dinner going.